Hey everybody, Lisa here with the acrylic painting glass of the month club. We are back and we are doing our stained glass sunflower. And yesterday, well, the other day, we made these little lines, you know, just in case you didn't have a steady hand. You could make them and then you can put them on, you know, the glass the way that you want to, without having to draw out the whole thing with the liquid leading. So what you do is you just take a razor blade and you just go along underneath it. And again, you can use an X-Acto knife if you have one. And don't let the kids play with that, right? So what you're gonna do is take this. Sometimes there's common sense things and sometimes there's not. So you have to make sure you say these things, because some people, you know, I'm hoping everybody has the common sense. Okay, so just in case, to cover myself, we have the parts, the pieces that we cut, right? So what you do is you just take it, and I'm just going to go along one of these that I did, just so you can see how to do it, okay? And then you're just going to put it down over your line, right? And just put it down there and stick it on, okay? And then, like, if you have a space underneath there, I mean between them, you know, like I said, you can take the liquid leading and just put it in between and fill that little space in, and then continue on, okay? I think I could do it on the drawing so you could see, oops, a little bit better. Hold on. I got all these panes of glass here. Hopefully I don't smash one on myself. That would be bad. Okay, and again, so I'll just use this paper, but if you wanted to, you can make the leaf. So we're just gonna go along and take these little pieces and create the leaf. All right, so you get the gist of it. So you just go along and you can connect them. Now, you don't overlap them. So if you have a little space there so that they will adhere, you're just going to take that liquid leading, and I can't find the black one right this second. I don't know what I did with it, but it's probably right here. Oh, here it is. I got it. It's behind my water. Okay, and then you would just take it and you would just fill it in, you know, just that little spot, and then it'll dry like that, okay? So these take a few hours just to dry. And I love that. That's the great thing. The ones in the store that you buy that are already done are really thick and fat, and honestly, I don't like them, but I like to do my own because it looks better. But if you want to try them, you can buy them and try them out. Okay, so here's our sunflower. And I'm going to use some colors today. We're going to use the, let's see, what do we got? We got the two greens. We have the ivy green, and then we have the Kelly green, and we had, this is a amethyst. Now, you don't have to use the same colors as me. This is just what I'm using. And then we're going to use this copper metallic, and where's that yellow? Oh, here it is. And then this one here is just the sunny yellow. What else did I use? Oh, orange. Let me find that. What's that? Oh, that's a nice amber color. We did use that last time. I didn't use a white, but, and then this one here is a cocoa brown. And there's the orange, and that's the pumpkin orange. Okay, so if you want to, you don't have to mix colors, but as you can see on this one, let me just put something behind there. I did do a little orange, a little yellow to make it look like that, okay? If you ever look at stained glass, it's not all perfect, and it's really pretty anyway. But what I wanted to show you too this is the surprise that I had for you guys. And I had told you I had a surprise. So here's the cool thing about this stuff is that, say you did it on this glass and you wanted it on something else, and you said, well, I wish I had done that right on the door or right on the window or on a bottle or what have you, okay? So you're going to take the razor blade, okay? And you're just going to take it underneath what you did, right? This could be a little bit tricky, but you want to be very careful, okay? I'm just going to cut it in a spot here. I'm not going to take the whole thing off because I do want it on this picture frame. So you're just going to go underneath, lift it off. This was the surprise I was talking about. So you just want to do that, lift it off. Now this stuff is permanent until it's not, okay? So that means that when you create this, you can it'll stay on there until you take it off, okay? So here's my little flower, all right? And that's the back. I don't know if you guys are old enough to even know what those little clings were that we had when we were kids. You know, you would play with them. I forget what they're called right this second. But, okay, so I said, well, I don't want it on there. I want it on a bottle. You see? And it looks like it's stained glass. You did it on there. And that'll stay until you don't want it to anymore. And again, you know, you'll have whatever you want on there, okay? So that was the surprise, and that's pretty cool, I think. So I'm going to put this back because that's where I want it, back on my picture over here. All right. And now we'll get to the painting, okay? Oops, sorry. I put it back. Now, it's just as easy as that. So I want to try to line it up with my stem here. Okay. And it looks like it's, there we go. I got it. It looks like, now I can take the leading, the black leading, and I can just go over that again so it doesn't have any bumps or anything in it, but you can't really see that. See, I could just press it on and there it is. Okay. See, isn't that cool? All right. Now we're going to take the one that's empty, and I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? So sunflowers. Okay, so sunflowers have different colors. You can do whatever you want, but I'm going to try to do it like I was painting it, okay? We're going to take the cocoa brown. All right. Ooh, sorry. So we're going to do the cocoa brown, and you don't want to shake these because you'll get bubbles. And we're going to put it in the middle. There's the cocoa brown. I'm going to wipe that off. Sometimes when you're doing it, they can get a little clogged. I've never had a problem with them clogging all the way. I just take a toothpick and stick it in there. That's from before when I used it. It just got into the stem, and when I pushed it, it came out. Okay, so there's my brown. That's the cocoa brown. And when this dries, it looks totally different. I think you remember. Now you can use the top of this to do the mixing, because you know what you're doing when you do this is you're trying to get that paint, the bubbles out of it, okay? So you just want to go along and try to get those bubbles out. Go one way, then the other way, and then again the other way. And if this doesn't seem to be working, then you can use your toothpick. All right. This paint I've had for a long time, and I like it because it doesn't go bad. I mean, it really doesn't. I mean, eventually, I suppose if you didn't put the tops on and right or what have you. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get the air bubbles out. I don't know if that's an air bubble or if that's a piece of something. Let me take a look there. Yeah, I think it's a piece of something actually that got in the paint. All right. All right, so I think I got all my bubbles out of that. So there's the center of the sunflower. And then I'm going to take this pretty copper color, right? And I'm going to, oops, and I'm going to spill it everywhere. All right. I'm going to spill it everywhere. That's okay. I think that's just, I'll take care of that after. Okay, so now I'm going to go around this part here. Just go around and fill that in, the outside. Now for the last one, I didn't do any lighter inside of it. I just did the brown and the copper. If you wanted to, let's try this. I'm just gonna take maybe a little bit of orange. Okay. Just to make it a little different, we're just gonna put that around there. All right. Maybe a little bit of yellow. And there's no right or wrong, okay? So you just do whatever you think you would like. All right. All right. And then I'm going to take a toothpick. And I'm just going to go back and forth. Get the air bubbles out. And you can blend these. I'm just going to blend them a little bit. So it makes like this cool strike in there, or design. See my little design there on the side. Now I like that so much that I think I'm going to do it to the other side. Now when this dries, it's going to look really cool. All right, I'm going to put some on the other side, I think. So I'm going to put a couple of drops. Okay. All right. So there we go. So we have one on one side and one on the other, right? And then I'm going to go in the middle.
I wonder if they're going to find out, or I wonder what, if people are going to find out what exactly he said to make him get taken off.
All right, I'm going to go close the door, guys, because people just came home from work and they're talking away. Hold on one second, okay? I'm sorry. Alright, there we are. Okay, I just don't want you to hear somebody's private conversation. Maybe you don't want to hear what they're talking about. Okay, so now we're just gonna, I wonder what this would look like. Oh, that's pretty. Isn't that pretty? I like that. I think going this way is even prettier. Oh, I like that. All right, so I think we'll leave it like that for now. All right, I like that. What do you think? I think that's pretty. Okay, now we're gonna go to the leaves, right? So what I did on the other one, I wish I hadn't, was I actually started with, you know, I did like a yellow and a yellow and yellow and what have you, and then I went back, but it started drying, so it was a little bit different. So we're just gonna do one at a time. Thank you. One at a time, and then we'll just go from there. Okay, now this is the ivy. Okay, that's the ivy, and I think I'm going to, what did I do on the other one? I think I had the ivy here, and then I did a little Kelly green over on the side. So we're just going to do that for now. Just go right in and mix that up. So that way it'll be prettier. So you do one leaf at a time. If you do it the way I did last time, it dries and then it's harder to mix, right? So I'm just gonna put that Kelly green on there. I think I bent my tip. Again, you can just take a a toothpick and just put it in there and twirl it around a little bit just to widen the hole. And then, oh my God, see what happens? I let it go and I had squeezed, but we're not gonna worry because we're just gonna continue on. And my son just came home from work. I don't know if people genuinely think that when you're painting or what have you, it's important. I think they don't. I think they just think you're playing around or something, but it's okay. So, okay, so I did that, and I'm gonna show you. Yeah, so you could just do it all one, but I like this effect. This is why I'm here, to show you how to do this, right? In different ways, so you get the best thing out of your work, right? So again, we're gonna just go along and get those air bubbles out, okay? And then you wanna push it into the spots where it didn't go, all along that black leading line, if you will. And then it'll fill that up, right? And then, now, for this part, you're just gonna kind of, you know, you filled it in, and then you're gonna push that paint out so that it is like a line, you know, the way that the leaf goes. And what I mean is, you're just gonna put your toothpick in there and you're just gonna go through the paint and like a kind of a little curved, not quite a C, but a little curve, you know. And then you're just gonna pull that paint and when it dries, it'll look really cool. So we're just gonna do it again over here. Now, some of that yellow went away over here, and that's okay. I don't mind it because it's gonna dry pretty cool. All right, so there's one. And if you wanted to, you could just take a little more yellow and put a drop. Oops. Okay. And then take it and go back in and swipe. All right. And then you get that really pretty color. And when it dries, you'll see what you're gonna get. Okay, now I see a little space over here. I see a little space. See, when you lift it up, you can see some spaces. So you wanna make sure you get them all. And then you're gonna take Q-tips. Yeah, there, sorry. Okay, you're gonna take your Q-tips, all right? And I have a little bit of rubbing alcohol here. I'm just gonna put it in the top. Put it down. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna wet that, and then I'm just gonna remove these spots that I had on there, right? Like I said, when it dries, you can take it off anyway. Ooh, sorry. Slippery little sucker. All right. All right. Okay, so here we go. And then I'm gonna take this off of there because that was like that big chunk that came out of there. Okay. Okay. All right. Getting back to it. I always try to buy the cheap Q-tips from the dollar store or what have you, so that way, because I use them for everything. I mean, I really do. These are not the cheap ones. They have the wood center, so I did not get to the dollar store, so I'm using those. Okay, so now we did one leaf. Now we're gonna go back and let's see, I'm gonna push that over just a little bit because it looks like it didn't go all the way in the crevices there. There we go. And if you go on the black, you can always take the Q-tip and just go along a little bit and get it off, okay? All right, now we're gonna go to the next leaf again. I'm gonna take my, the ivy. Make sure you have paper towels on hand because you might have to fix that. Wipe off the paint that was in there. All right, so you want to do one at a time until you get used to it, okay? Because if you don't, then, you know, it can dry. So I'm just, for purposes of time, I'm just gonna go along and do this. So that way you guys can go on with your life. All right, so there's a couple of them. And then I'm gonna take that Kelly green and, okay, I didn't put this on the edge, so I'm gonna just put it on the top. I've been having a really hard time downloading these videos. I don't know who I'm gonna write to about those the CenturyLink people, but I think I should write to somebody because that's terrible. They just dropped the ball. I've never seen anything like it. Honestly, never did. Okay, so we'll come over here. This was a little leaf over here. And this was a little leaf over here. And I think that was it for now. Oh no, I had a couple on my flower over there. Okay. And then again with this green. Let's see, where do I need it? Right here. Okay, and then we have the yellow. Okay. I'm going to take my toothpick and back and forth. Get all the bubbles out. Mix that paint together a little bit. And then push it out. And then you're just going to do the same thing. Now you want to go in the same direction that you did before, because that's how leaves are. They have those little striations. Now you can see I need a little bit more over there. I thought when I mixed it, it would be enough, but it wasn't. Okay. Again, back and forth. Get the bubbles out. Get a little spot there between. Okay. Mix it up. Get those bubbles out. I mean, it's not a big deal, but if you want, I mean, you just don't want all the bubbles in there, because when it dries, you'll be able to see those bubbles. It's okay to have a few, but you don't want a whole bunch of them, I'm sure. All right, and I'm just gonna push that up there because I like that look. And then we'll do this side. Get that paint in there. All right, get those bubbles out. And put it along where you missed. All right, just getting it in there, getting the bubbles out. Now I'm staying away from the yellow right now because after I'm done doing this, I'm gonna make those striations, right? So, okay, now we're gonna do it. Come across, make sure you're getting all the spots, and then go the other way. So you went this way, and now you're gonna do the same thing to the other side, okay? I think I have a little gap there. Okay, just mixing it all in, getting it all on there. Now, if you find you didn't put enough paint on, you know, it's like you're making a little puddle inside that leading, okay? And it'll dry nice, I promise. Okay, taking your Q-tip, all right, and you're just gonna go along the liquid leading line just to get that paint off of there, okay? And if you see anything that you don't like, you can do the same, okay? All right, now, this is what I was saying. If you do it too soon, you might have some drying going on. But you might want to just do one at a time. I'm just doing this for purposes of keeping the video short. But you might want to just do one at a time, okay? All right. Okay, and then back here, we're going to do the same thing. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more. The Kelly green. It looks like I need to. Okay. Now I'm just going to mix it up. There we go. Bubbles. And this one is being a bugger because I thought I put enough paint and it doesn't look like I did. Okay, a little bit more. Go back on. Mix it together. Okay. Taking my Q-tip again, just going along that black line. Take a clean one here. I think that one's getting all goopy. Go in and clean that off. Okay, and then I had a little bit go over here. There we go. Clean that off. There we go. All right, so that's that. Now, oh, I had one more. I lied. I had this one more over here. I forgot about that guy. So we want to just mix that up. And this is so easy. I mean, you could do something, obviously for yourself, but you could do a gift for somebody, and it can be just from you. Mother's Day's coming up. I'm sure your mother would love that. And, or for yourself for Mother's Day. You could do that too, right? All right. Or any kind of present. Like I said, you can make them on the glass and then take them up and then put them on, you know, the bottle. And the nice thing about that is that because the bottle, if you put it on there, it can be drippy. So if you do it on the flat glass, then you can, you know, peel it up and put it on whatever you want. Okay, so my other one, I did purple flowers, but I think we'll start with the leaves, right? Okay, so again, you want to just do a couple of them at a time. You don't want to do too many because you have to mix them, all right? And I see a space right there. I see a little space. What's that, a hair? Yep, it is. I got a hair in my paint. All right. There it is. It's an eyelash. Get off of my painting. And you know the only person that could have came from is me, right? So, all right. I'm going to go back to the copper. Whatever I do with that. Is this it or cocoa brown? Oh, here it is. Copper metallic. Okay. And I'm going to put that right in there. Oops. And use the Q-tip again. Okay. Mix it up. It's a big bump there. A bubble, excuse me. A bubble. All right. Again, going back and forth, side to side, get the bubbles out. Nice thing about it is that, you know, you can just go back and fix things as you go. If you see a spot, it takes over, you know, a few hours to dry. So you really could do a whole nice thing, project in a day. I mean, it won't even take you a whole day. So you have to go get your kids, or you have to go to work or whatever. You come back and, you know, it's drying and you just continue on. You don't have to worry about that, okay? So now we're going to put this on, right? Go along the edge, around the leading. Remember, it's like a puddle. Okay. Push it along and do the next one. Expense-wise, it's really nice stuff. It lasts a long time. It's worth the money. If you know, let's say you decide, you know, well, I'm gonna buy it, but I don't know, I don't want to spend all that money. You know, the thing about it is that if you use it and then you don't use it for like 2 years or whatever it is that I did, you don't have to worry, because it's not going to go bad. If you have the covers on, I mean, I have some that I didn't even open yet. Where are they? Here's a couple I didn't even open yet, and I bought this a long time ago. So, you know, with work and whatever, you know, you don't have time to do all these things, you know. And so the nice thing about it is if you feel one day you know, you want to bust it out and do something with it, it's going to be okay, you know. It's not going to go bad on you, and you can use it at whim. And, you know, maybe the first time you use it, maybe you're not going to really like what you did, but, you know, you can practice. It's okay. I've done a few pieces I didn't really love, but I didn't have anybody really to show me. I went on some sites and I looked at the professional stuff, but, you know, their stuff comes out like magazine quality. You know, I'm just showing you what to do that I know that is helpful for me, that I learned while I was, you know, doing this. So you don't have to blend this like I just did. For my other one, I did not do that. I just let it dry like that. This bubble right there just doesn't even want to pop. Jeez. I'm not sure why, but it's not popping. All right. So we got to get vigorously. There we go. All right, now it's starting to go. All right. Okay, again, we had this side over here. I think it's therapeutic and it's fun, right? Who doesn't want to have fun? Okay, so I'm going to go along and finish these little things later, but I'm going to go on to the other flowers, okay, just so you can see, because this might take a while. And I've already done a few of them, so I think that you get the gist of that. But if you don't, let's say you have questions, you can leave them for me in the comments, okay? I mean, where am I going? So just leave me on any questions you might have, all right? All right, so there's that. Now, we're going to go to this guy here, And again, I'm going to do the cocoa brown in the middle. This is my little sunflower. Cocoa brown in the middle. Right? And I'm going to mix it up with the top of the bottle. All right. And then I'm going to use a little bit of the copper. And you don't, again, you don't have to do this. You can do just one color. It's fine. This is copper. Okay. And toothpick. Okay. Just going across. This one's a little bit more mixed, right? All right. Back and forth. Side to side. Side to side, back and forth, up and down. Getting those bubbles out of there. Okay. Now, we're going to go right into these little purple ones, okay? Now, I didn't do centers on the other ones, but I think what I'm going to do is just do a little bit of yellow in the middle. And you can use whatever colors you want. I'm using yellow. Again, my little bubbles are giving me a hard time. Sometimes if you just let it sit and then you go back, it's easier to poke them out. And this, I'm just going to put a little bit on the outside. You see how it has those little lines? It's like a little spot where the liquid leading didn't go. Like this one here is the same thing. I'm just going to put a little bit in those little spots that it didn't connect. So we're going to go with the mistake and make it pretty, right? Okay. And I'm going to use this purple again. Remember, don't shake these, okay? You don't want to shake them. So I'm just going to put the purple in the leaves. I'm shaking it down to get it down there, but I'm not shaking up and down, okay? And my, I'm going to put this toothpick in there again to open it up. And then I'm just going to gently put it in there, in between the leaves, okay? Now this is really little, so, oh, geez, look at what happened. It's just all pouring out all of a sudden. See, I'm glad these things happen while I'm showing you. You know why? Because then I can show you how to fix it. And if it didn't have a mistake, it's like those bots, right? You know how you have to say that you're not a bot and go on there? Well, it's kind of like that. I'm not a bot. This is live. Well, not live, but recorded. It's recorded. And I'm human. Okay. And I'm making little dots there. I thought that would be cute. Okay. All right, now I'm going to take my Q-tip and I'm going to go along and absorb some of that paint off of there. Okay. Just to get it off. Because the thing exploded on me while I was doing it. Not to worry. Just going to get down to the liquid leading. And it's okay. Okay. Now when it dries, it's going to be translucent. You don't have to really worry too much because you're going to be able to see the liquid letting. But I don't want all of that on top of it because we really want it to look like real stained glass, right? I'm just going to put a drop there. See if I can do it on the paper towel so it doesn't ooze out. Okay, there we go. Oops. Okay. All right. What's that? This spot. Pardon my head, folks. All right. So there's that. And then we're going to go back to the Q-tip and pop out any bubbles that we see. Oh, I think a dog's trying to get in here. What do you think? You can hear that. I think there's a doggy out there. Puppy's getting big. She's, her middle name is Trouble. She's a high maintenance kind of dog, I'll tell you that. Okay, now the, this little sunflower up here, I'm just gonna, I want it to have a certain look to it, so I'm just gonna put a little more orange on the ends. All right, so there's my little purple flowers. And then there's that, and I'm going to take the yellow again and just put it in there, going along. Yes, that's me humming. I think it's like a pacifying thing. I'm not sure why I do it. Somebody told me once it was a tick. I wasn't happy with that, but it's okay. Everybody's got their weird thing that they do, right? That's mine. I hum. All right. I suppose there's weirder things we can do. Okay, mixing it again, just a little bit. Making sure I get all the edges, all the bubbles out. And if you need to add a little more paint, then that's okay too. Like I said, you want it to be like a little puddle in there. Okay, I'm just checking. Make sure I got everything. And what's cool is that when you lift it up, you don't want to lift it up right away, but if you lift it up as it dries, you know, like I don't want to lift it up and do that because I don't want it to run, but see that space right there? I mean, it shouldn't be runny, but you know what I mean. So, because gravity, but there's like a little space right there. So I'm going to take the yellow and go back in, and if it dries and you see that it's dried, you know, tomorrow, whatever, you can always add a little more and let it dry again. It's okay. It's not going to hurt anything if you put a little more paint in there, because it's just going to dry again and you'll get your spots. All right, so there's that. And I'm going to continue on with these, and I think maybe I'll just finish off with this purple over here, just so you can see. I don't know why this one's coming out so fast, but maybe when I widened the nozzle there, I made it too fat, because it was just pouring out on me. Woo. There we go. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna post obviously the dried finished flower. And before I go, I just want to show you the picture frame. So I'm going to finish this, my leaves, and then I'll show you that later when it's done, okay? Just going back in and mixing it up a little bit. It's easy to use, folks. Don't be afraid of it. It's really cool. And what's the worst thing that can happen? You scrape it off and you fix it, you know. Okay, so there's that. And I still see a little spot in there. Remember, I didn't know if it was paint or if it was a bubble. So, okay. See, it's starting to congeal. So I want to make sure it's not bumpy. All right. Okay, so we'll leave that alone for now. Get it out of the way. And I'm going to show you the frame that I did, right? So I had the little video on there with the frame, and this is the finished frame. If you have wax, you can put the wax on there. Sorry. You can put the wax on there, and that's the frame. Let me see if I can fix this camera a little bit. Well, I think that's better. Okay, so what I did is I waited for this to dry, and then I took the sandpaper and I sanded it down so it looked a little weathered. You know, a lot of the white did not come through the way I thought it would, but it's okay. But the brown from the picture frame did. Some of the white came through, but not as much as I wanted it to. So if you wanted more white to come through, you know, you can put more coats. And the other thing you could do is paint white, you know, in spots on the frame, and then go back over it again with the yellow, and then sand it, and it should come through more than that. But I think that that's okay. That'll be fine. Because what it's going to do is I'm going to end up, sorry, I have the wet sun, the wet one here. And then I have the dry one. So I'm going to take this, right, and I'm going to put it in the frame. And as I was off center a little bit, so if you want to add words or anything you want there, but that's the finished project. Okay, and what's going to happen is I'm going to hang this up maybe in the window or what have you, and you can, you know, add a little chain or whatever you want on the back there. Okay, all right, you guys, so have fun, and I'll be on again. I'll put some pictures on there with the finished project, and so happy painting and crafting, and I will see you soon. I'll let you know. I'm thinking we will have an American flag or something. Let me know in the comments if you want to do the liquid leading with a flag, or if you want to just use regular acrylics on a bottle of choice. You guys can use whatever you want, but okay, so let me know. I'm thinking of doing an American flag next in honor of 4th of July and Memorial Day. And if you like the sunflowers, we can do more of those or whatever kind of flower. But I'd like to have your feedback on what you would like to see. Okay? Have a good day. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.